back with another deduction story this time. This one would have been when I was about 15 years old, I think. And it was a break-in, actually. I just happened to be in the right place at the right time to solve it. It was my father's garage, and a couple of kids broke in, just, I guess, out of curiosity to see what was in the garage. Kind of stupid. They didn't take anything, just broke the windows in. And the police insisted that there was no way for them to figure out who had broken in. I insisted otherwise. I took about 15 minutes to observe the area that had been broken in through, and they had thrown a rock through one of the windows, and they had bashed the other window in with a stick or something. I didn't know at the time what it was. I just realized that it had disappeared. They had thrown a rock through the first window, both windows had white paint on the outside of it that my father had done in order to keep people from seeing into the garage. And that white paint rubbed off on the rock that they threw through the window. And I recognized that the paint was on the rock from the windows. And so whatever other item they had used to break the window would also have that white paint, those specks of white paint, rubbed off on it too. I also gathered a little bit of other evidence. There were footprints around where they had been standing when they threw the rock through the window, so I was able to gauge that they were probably female. Younger too, so teenagers. That was based on the tread of the shoe. It wasn't like adult, it was like play shoes, with brands still on them and everything, like a kid's shoe would have. Then I proceeded to check around the houses that are in my neighborhood. Probably shouldn't have done that. I mean, I was 15 years old and I was snooping around everyone's back doors, but I didn't really have a moral compass. And in my snooping, I found a bat that had white specks of paint on it, and then proceeded to determine that living in that same house were two teenage girls. This fit the description of everything I had noticed up until that point. And around that time, an eyewitness came forward and confirmed everything I had told them, or everything I had observed and deduced about the situation. The police still really didn't like that a 15-year-old kid had one up to them in their job, so nothing really happened, and it was only teenage kids, so there wasn't much that could be done. But it still was a crime that I solved, and I thought it was a story that you guys would be more interested in this time. It's a step up from making deductions about cars and that sort of thing. So, pretty interesting story, I think. And I have a few more crimes that I've solved as well that I'm going to tell the stories about soon. Another break-in. Actually, I can look at the book right here really quick. These are all stories for events that I lived through and used deduction to solve, and I want to share them with you. So there was the garage break-in. There's another break-in that happened shortly after this, and then there was a drugs bust that I was involved in, and then another story that I've got in the works as well. And these are all true stories that I use deduction in. That's about it for now. I'm working on other content that is taking time. Seriously, just need a day off to do that, though. So while I had some time, I thought I'd get this deduction story up. So if you're interested in the content, stay tuned. And thank you for watching.